And what about like, You Can Still Rock in America, which is, what a cool beginning,
Oh, dude.
and how did that come up and who came up with that?
Oh, and Don't Tell Me You Love Me. Yeah. But,
Oh, that's Don't Tell Me You
yeah,
Love Me.
that's
Right.
Don't Tell Me You Love Me. The Rockin' America came about is we're on tour with Sammy Hagar, right? We're doing our first album. We released our Dawn Patrol record, and we were on tour with Hagar doing the 3-Lock Box. He was doing his 3-Lock Box tour, and it was like, 1983, all of 1983. And so we're out with him, and all the magazines, Kenny, were like, Rock is Dead. It's like coming out of 1980, 1981, 1982. And, Rock is Dead. The new music is coming in. It's like Blondie, The Cars, Haircut 100, Flock of Seagulls, all these bands and everybody. And I was reading all these things going, Rock is Dead. And I'm like, we're with Sammy. What? Yeah, exactly. And we're with Hagar, and everywhere we're playing with Hagar, there were thousands of people just, rocking out, just going crazy and going wild and everything. And I'm like, and we were sitting, I remember we were sitting in a bad, economy lodge in like Springfield, Illinois or something like that. And I'm like, I'm reading these magazines and I'm going, Rock is Dead. I was like, as far as I'm concerned, you can still rock in America. And I went, wow, that's a great idea for a title. So I just wrote the song, brought it into Brad, and Brad's like, we just created the whole song. And that's the same thing that happened like on Don't Tell Me You Love Me. I brought the song in and we decided we needed this up. You know how, like with Motown songs, they all start with something like to catch yourself right off the bat.
Yeah.
And we were a brand new band, right? Nobody ever heard of Night Ranger. We hadn't made a record or anything like that. So we did something we felt like that would jump out on the radio, how Motown used to do like, stop in the name of love. Be fun. And you're like, oh, what's this? You turn it up on the radio or down, 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 and like, all this Motown.
Or my girl.
Yeah, my girl. Exactly.
Boom,
Exactly.
boom,
Right.
boom,
So,
boom, right away.
Exactly. So we needed something. We thought, what could we do where all of a sudden the records start, people hear it on the radio and they go, what the hell is this? So how about right off the bat, we just crock them in the mouth, man. How about we go, bum, 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 just freaking go for it, So that's how the intro came about, just taking a cue from our Motown, our Motown brothers,
That totally worked. And it was so cool playing those songs when we did that Kings of Chaos gig a while ago. And, for people who don't know Kings of Chaos, it's like a super group and they have guest singers and Jack was one of them. So we got to play all those 3 songs.
That was a blast.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's so
you
cool.
and I playing together is like freaking over the top. And we're around each other, just like looking at each other going, just throwing it down and jumping and dancing. And oh man, it's badass.
That's what I was about to say, man. The thing is like, you are so authentic and I'm that same guy. I mean, this ain't an act. It's like, we don't put on a rock and roll costume, personality. We're this way 24/7. And I think being authentic all the time and being exactly who you are that's the way you get your best work done. That's how you end up doing, because you're not trying to second guess. You're not BSing yourself. You are being completely you. This is what I am. So your work is always going to be at 100%. You're always presenting 100%. And that's what I noticed about you. I noticed that about you.
That's totally right. And that even goes into songwriting, man, because when if you're authentic, if you really write down what's in your heart, in your soul, I mean, when somebody writes a song and somebody writes lyrics, that's probably the closest glimpse into their soul as a person can see, man, cause you're laying it out there. You know what I mean? You're laying it out. And I honestly, there were times back in the 80s, like on one of our albums, I think it was like the Big Life album. I think that some of those songs, we were like writing songs that what we thought people would like, as opposed to writing songs that were coming from our heart and our soul to make people feel it, because that's what we did on all our other records. And I think that you've got to do that. And that's what we did when we started back up with Night Ranger again, man. We're all getting together in a room. We're jamming. We're doing our music from our heart and our whole soul. I mean, if some people don't get it, that's cool. But you know what I mean? It's real. And it's just what you're going back to the fact that it's got to be real, man. It's got to be real. And it is.
Exactly.